Their one regret is they didn't fuck enough when they were younger. I'm telling you, the dog shit works better than the nice words. Then the first date that we go out on, we're chaperoned by your wife and the grandmother, okay? And then I buy her flowers, and then I buy her candy. Then we go to the soda shop and have a soda, a malt. And then we have a lunch, and then we have a dinner. That model's dead. Sweetheart, it begins and ends right here. Whether your mother's standing next to you or not. That's the new model. And that's what I tell the sovereign funds, the absolute truth. And that's why, and as my grandmother on her dying bed said to me in Spanish, my Spanish isn't good enough to say it anymore, Danielle, always say the truth. And if the truth doesn't hurt, it's not the truth. If the truth doesn't hurt, it's not the truth. And I remember that. You never heard the truth. Again, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Just because you've never seen it happen doesn't mean it's not fucking happening. So when you find this motivated seller, it's still slam bam thank you man. You're not there to romance him. You're not there to take him to lunch, buy him candies, all this bullshit, none of that. It's like the $500 hooker, if you can still get laid for $500, I don't know if you can anymore, that's standing there with a short skirt. Oh, so you want $600, I'll give you $575. Get in the fucking car. That's it. And most of you won't be able to do that in the beginning. But then out of desperation, when you're failing, and like Gerard said, this asshole that, is a fucking moron does a deal, and then you'll edge closer to my end. Or Simon, who said, I started, don't be mini-me, but I started to talk more like Dan. Shit, I think is the word he used. But for some of you, it's a far stretch. I mean, it's a pun intended, it's a quantum leap. But for some of you, it's a bridge too far. For some of you, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Does everybody understand that? You want to do it, but you can't. But for some of you that, can make the flip, and the more money you make, the more unlike your old self you are. Did that come out right? The more money you make, the more unlike your old self. And then pretty soon, you'll see a cousin someplace or at a funeral, and the cousin will say, oh, Sally, I hardly recognize you. You sound different. It normally starts with you look different, and then you sound different. Remember, you only have 2 times to make a first impression. Looks, sound, and then you won't even get invited to funerals. Everybody gets invited to funerals, not me. Then you know you've made it. You're at the apex of your deal, where nobody asked you to the funeral. Years and years ago, I used to just go to funerals and weddings. I thought, they're drunked up, I can go in and go out, and you pay my respects at the funeral, or, kiss the bride or the groom, whatever. And after a funeral, they all go back to somebody's house, right? And they drink coffee and sherry. You pick fuckers probably drink beer and shit. And the men congregate in one room, like the family room or the den, and they're talking shit. And all the fat women are waddling around the kitchen making cookies and sandwiches, right? So I go in with my dad, and the first words out of my dad's mouth is, this is my son that lives in the castle. That's how he used to introduce me. This is my son. Didn't even say my fucking name. This is my son that lives in the castle. And I said, Dad, if you do that anymore, I'm not going to come to funerals anymore. Well, he couldn't help himself. Next motherfucking funeral. This is my son. Before he got the son out, I was gone, and I'd never been back to a funeral since. Same thing happened at weddings. I used to like to go to weddings because it was a good place to get laid. People, sobbing, kissing, and, fuck, it was a good place for a young single guy to get laid. But same thing, when I walk into the room, this is my son. So I don't go to weddings anymore. My dad couldn't help it. I had a female doctor, mentee from San Antonio, Texas. She's originally from Peru or someplace. And she says her mother introduces her. This is my doctor daughter who has an Olympic swimming pool. That's how she introduces her. Because the parents, they probably worked their ass off to send her to medical school. I don't know that for a fact. But I can't imagine how they introduce you guys. For fuck's sake, God almighty. What the fuck do they say? This is my loser, pleaser. But if things like that bother you, then you came to the wrong program, the wrong seminar. This is not make you friendly with your family program. This is just not it. There used to be a thing called EST back in the 70s, which I attended. I was actually an instructor, where you'd lock in a big room like this, no toilets, no food, no water. And it was over a 3 or 4 day weekend. And you shit in a trash can and all that. And it was to break you down, supposedly. It didn't break me down, but anyway, I was just trying to get, how do I get fucked with all these 70, 80 people watching? I have some shame, Jesus Christ. But I figured out a way, because I didn't know they turned the lights out eventually. And so I'm crawling around like a snake, and as soon as I bump up against a woman, if she didn't, like this, I had her. I'm telling the truth. My daughter hates these stories, but it's the fucking truth. They used to say Danny was fuck a snake if he held his head still. I'll say that slow. Pendejo, you understand what I just said? Danny would fuck a snake if he held its head still. That wasn't too much of a stretch, actually. Got more sex than the Beatles. So when I'm dying and slobber coming out of my mouth, before I put a bullet in my own head, I'm not going to regret all the ass and the sex I didn't have, like everybody in this fucking room. We had 3 old ladies. I was at a funeral, not a family funeral. And so one of my best friends and his wife died. And so Sally says, don't you want to say a few words about Belinda? So then Walt, the widower, right? Comes up to me and says, Dan, you've known her 50 years. So I get up there with the microphone and I say, first of all these eulogies that everybody said, you're talking about a different woman. I mean, that's not the woman I knew. The woman I knew was a hard bitch cunt. You know, she was hard as nails. And her son, who's in the back's going, okay, she was tough as fucking nails. So we're going out, and she was buried at sea. And so we're going out there through her ashes, and 3 little old ladies came up to me and pulled on my jacket, and I said, oh, how can what can I do for you? Can I help you? She says, we want you to give our eulogies when we die. And so I look him, and I walk around like this. I look at him, well, you're a little old for me, but I haven't had a menage a trois in a while, and why not start with old pieces of ass? The 3 old ladies, they all started laughing. And their one regret is they didn't fuck enough when they were younger. What do you think about when you're 85 or 90 and you're going to leave the picture pretty soon? That's what their regret was. I shouldn't have waited 3 years after George died to remarry to fuck. I shouldn't have waited, and they had gone through 3 or 4 husbands each, but it gave me, inspiration that, and that was 7, 8 years ago. So they may have gone to their maker, and they certainly didn't call me, or nobody told me they'd call me. Okay, anything else? Who's my 5:30? Oh, won't that be fun? Who's my 6? A double dose. Who's my 6:30? Oh, Jesus Christ. Goggles. Fucking goggles. Tonight we have dinner in the pub. It's steak night, and so we're all going to sit in there. There are no place cards, so it's every man and woman for themselves. Again, and then I'll come up and talk. I'm not done yet. I'm just saying it while I'm thinking about it. And then I'll come up and talk, and you'll have homework again tonight. There's still 2 of you have not picked up your kilt, and what do you call it? Is it you? No. Baldy, you. Okay. I recognize your name. And there's somebody else. Get it done. But the motivated seller, and when we see the role plays later on in the week, you won't believe how short the role play is. The longer you talk, after they say, have you considered selling your business? You shut up. You don't say a word. And that silence will be deafening. It will seem to you like, for any of you that have been involved in sales, the next person that speaks loses. Exactly. And so it may be 5 seconds, it may be 35 seconds, but it'll seem like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And then when you see the cue cards in the script, but when they say yes, some will actually say, oh, what would you have in mind? And we'll show you how to respond to that. But until they say yes, or they say, I haven't really thought about it until you mentioned it, unless they say something that's reasonably positive, the conversation's over. It's not your job to convince them. If they're not in the right place in the right time of their life to do that, then it's not your job to convince them, because it's a numbers game. Because you're going to have a funnel of prospective sellers. You're going to have a funnel for finance, and you're going to have a funnel for deals. And you want to keep those funnels pretty much full. And then you attack them one at a time. I know you asked, can you work on 1 or 2 or 3 deals at a time? One at a time. When they drop out, the motivated seller, it's one at a time. And when you actually convince them, or not have to convince, they convince you. You want them to convince you that you should buy them. That's what I'm trying to say. Which is, that's the Rolls Royce sales pitch, okay? When Sally took me down to the Rolls Royce factory in southern England, and we hand-picked, and it took for fucking ever. The leather and the initials, QLA, and the seat, and this, that, and the $1 trillion man, and the lining, and so, God-damn, there's about 300 accessories, all of which cost money, You think a car that costs that much goddamn money, they throw everything in. No, they don't do that. And, you want your refrigerator? You want it to cool. I said, what do you mean? No, I just want the fucking tin thing there to keep everything hot. What do you mean I want it to cool? Well, that costs extra. Otherwise, it's just a fucking box. And there's 2 cooling systems. Anyway, someone went down there, you're encouraging them, and by the end of the thing, I did. I said, we'll just take everything, whatever the fucking extra. I don't give a fuck what it is, because I'm gonna go. They have a little bar there. They serve you alcohol, little canapes. Sally, you deal with everything. We'll take everything. And we got fucked big time. They gave us everything right up my rectum, And then Corona happened, and so the car wasn't ready, but you walked the floor of the factory, And when Sally had a Bentley made for me, pretty much before that, we walked the floor of the factory but you want them to convince you. And right now, because interest rates are higher, significantly higher, you got the perfect alibi, if that's the right word, to say, well, I can't do that. Now, this is if the seller financing is falling on its ass. I'm sorry, Mr. Jones or ma'am or whatever. There's no way I can get that past the bank. Now, you've heard Simon say, when he came back to that company he wanted to buy so desperately, he said, well, I convinced the board. So you can now use the board as the excuse why you changed your mind or why you can't do things. And they will relate to that. They will relate to that. Now, some of the little old couples won't relate to that. But you've got a lot of tools to use to have the motivated seller do a deal for you, or do a deal with you, I should say, not for you. And once you figure out your own nomenclature to add to the nomenclature you're going to get, and then you just use the same, in my judgment, you use the same over and over again, because you're just going to use the words that work, just the words that work. And as Gerard said, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's easy. It's easy. And again, that pet roll-up is a great roll-up. But there's a lot of great roll-ups still available, although I like healthcare because it's the easiest. And in candor, it's been the vertical I've had the most success with. It's like here and everything else is down here. We've rolled up mines and we've rolled up a lot of stuff, aerospace. But this is the fucking easiest, because you can't talk to a banker that doesn't understand that there's a shortage in healthcare. They all understand that. And they all pretty much understand that it's been growing like this forever. And right now it's over 20% per annum across the board, from tattoos to veterinary hospitals to dental clinics to chiropractic. So it's part of the information that is worldwide that almost everybody understands. And so I've always thought and learned the hard way, it's easier to sell somebody something that they understand than having to reinvent the wheel. And that's what healthcare is. Although, and now arguably, even though I think it's funny when Gerard says we're part of healthcare, which he is, veterinary hospital part is, but dog grooming, I don't know how that's fucking healthcare. But if he says it's healthcare in New Jersey and Long Island and Manhattan, well then goddamn it is. So he's reinvented his own industry, and he's at the forefront. And there have been other pet roll-ups over the years, but currently he's the only one, other than the guys from YouTube that I don't know about, that are doing a pet roll-up, and he's doing a terrific job. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
So can you talk more about embarrassing offers?
Embarrassing offer? Okay. Where in India are you from? Mumbai. Okay. You come from poor Mumbai, medium class Mumbai? Okay. Let's just say, I'm using just numbers that don't relate to you because you won't get rupees. But let's just say your house is worth $100,000 in rupees, okay? And and it's a nice house. There are a lot of houses that are shit houses in India, believe me. But let's just say this is a nice house. And a $100,000 house in Mumbai would be an expensive house, wouldn't it? Okay. I offer you $25,000. That's an embarrassing offer.
And so, typically these sellers do not find out what the valuation of their company is?
Typically these sellers don't find out which language?
The valuation.
Oh, well, no, they're in their mind, you all have a valuation. In the house you live in, or the flat you live in, or the car you drive, you have an idea what you think it's worth, right? But that means nothing. Today's world, interest rates, the war, Corona, everything's gone down in value. Just as the stock market is a leading indicator from what's going to happen the next 12 to 24 months. The stock market, in that one slide that I was giggling about, shows that a lot of these stocks are down 20, 30, 40, 50%. Because that's what the market is telling us, that those industries are going to go down. And crypto has not been the savior that everybody thought it was going to be. So the valuation, they should have sold before Corona. They should have sold before the war. They should have sold before, when Dan was yelling, the lowest interest rates in 5,000 fucking years. But they didn't, as they say in Scotland, did they? So now they're having to pay the price to action for no action. They took no action and they're going to have to suffer. Now, I don't go through all this explanation like I just did for you. Some of you will. Well, actually, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, God, interest rates have doubled in the last 6 months. Corona, the war, crazy Putin could drop. Now you won't say this business is worth dog shit. You won't say that, but you'll say some kind of nice words. I'm telling you, the dog shit works better than the nice words. But some of you boys from the good old boys from the South can't say shit if it was in your goddamn mouth. And when I'm in that part of the world, I play up. I'm just a Southern boy, which I am. Yes, I am. I'm a Southern boy that got away. And when you say that some will say, got away from what, Mr. Pena? Got away from boys like you, just like you, old timer. Then you got it. I'm not suggesting you do that, especially if you're black in the South. I wouldn't do that. I would recommend you don't do that. And unfortunately, racism is still alive and well around the world. It's a shitty thing to say, but it is. And when I see these Black Lives Matter and all lives matter, God damn it, but nobody gives a shit. Or they only give a shit when it's fucking convenient. Women's lives matter, but it's, and guys will agree with you only when it's convenient. And if you're not bright enough to figure that out, then you're fucking dumber than you look. Racism and segregation, all that is a matter of convenience. If it's convenient for you to make a speech in front of the United Nations that it's wrongful, then fine, it's convenient. When you go back to Mobile, Alabama, it ain't so fucking convenient. And if you're at the Ku Klux Klan meeting, which still exists, and they're still playing The South Shall Rise Again. But this model works across all races, all boundaries. Because at the end of the day, these poor bastards don't want to be stuck with their fucking business they work 25, 30 years to build up, and it just falls to shit when they're dead. And you're doing them a favor, because you're their exit. And we'll talk more about that the rest of the week. You're their fucking exit. And in a lot of cases, I would say, I'm not suggesting you say this, I'm the exit you don't deserve, prick. What have you done to save the fucking world? Nothing. You ought to take this offer and run to the fucking bank like a thief in the fucking night. You miserable piece of shit. You won't do that. And I'm not recommending you do that. But may God strike me dead with a lightning bolt right now if that's not how I sell. So how do I get away with it? That's the real question. Because the truth will always out. And down deep side in your southern racist background, you know what I'm saying is the fucking truth. The Jew from Canada back there knows I'm telling the fucking truth. You may not like hearing it the way I say it, but you can't argue with me that it's not true. And that's why I've gotten away with it for all these decades. I just want you to move a little closer to me. Just a little teeny bit, and you'll be super rich. Sensitivity equals fucking poverty. And the girl that sat right there, I want to kiss her on the big lips for giving her mother a fucking heart attack. I wrote her, you should write that with a pride, like a banner of pride. And now her mother's changed her whole attitude towards her daughter. What a surprise. Now she treats her daughter like a human being, not an extension of her umbilical cord that she got cut loose from. You start treating your parents like they had a pair of balls, your whole relationship will change. Your whole relationship will change. Just imagine, for a moment, daydream, if you had no limits to your abilities.